Hello, everyone. I am Jin Yao, a biomedical researcher and a health coach.
I'm Kim Potts, registered dietitian specializing in functional nutrition.
And I'm Heather Carpentier, and I'm a health and wellness consultant.
So, Kim, what are we going to talk today?
Well, today we are going to do something a little different, something we haven't really done before. Our topic is going to be meal planning tips. And so I want to start out by asking both of you, because you have no idea what we're talking about or what we're doing today. So is meal planning something you wish you did but didn't know where to begin? Is meal planning something that you both do all the time? Where are you at with that?
Well, you know what? I have lots of recipes, all different kinds of recipes.
Okay.
Breakfast and lunch and dinner. But the question is, so how can I put those together in a way that's the most efficient and the most healthy?
Okay. Heather, are you a meal planner?
80 to 90% of the time.
Okay.
I do a weekly plan. It may change which day, but for the most part, I have my dinner plan. The rest we wing it with leftovers and stuff. So
okay. So I am going to give you what I would consider to be my top 10 meal planning tips. I do a lot with meal planning, and part of that is because I have been a consultant dietitian for, I don't know, 15, 20 some years. And I have had to develop literally hundreds of menus over the years. So through a lot of trial and error and expertise, I guess, I'm going to give you some of my top 10 meal planning tips. So this is certainly not an all-inclusive list, and you may have your own. But I would say the first tip is to try to find a time, ideally once a week, where you could sit down and decide what it is that you are going to make based on, what's going on in your life. The second thing I like to do is always making extras. I know some people don't like leftovers, but it's really a great way on how you can plan for a future meal. It's a great way on how you can have, gee, what am I going to bring for lunch tomorrow? Or it could be, gee, we're really going to be running behind this week. That would be a great way. We're just going to have this for dinner again. So I love making extras. I think thirdly, it's important to have your items thawed in advance. So if you're wanting to make hamburger, for example, trying to pull that out a good day or two in advance. Any leftover soup. So it's just going to speed up things in the long haul when you're going to be preparing that. Prepping for what you can at the same time. So it's really not going to take any longer to bake 2 chickens at the same time you're making one. Or whenever I'm making, say, a pound of burger for a meal, I usually will do 2 to 3. I'll fry it all up, season it, and then I'll put whatever I don't need for that meal. I'll put that into the freezer. I'll label it. And then when I need a quick meal for something, I already know that I've got that ready burger to go. So that saves me a lot of time then. Crock pot, air pot, those are some great tools. So especially if I forgot to pull, say, my roast or my chicken, I know I can throw it in the crock pot and it's still going to be done on time. Sometimes, or I usually will purchase my, own produce, but a lot of times people just say, I just don't have the time to, wash that, cut that up, peel it. So for you, getting some of that pre-cut and pre-washed produce might be a good option. Rotisserie chicken. I think getting a rotisserie chicken, getting a pre-made salad, getting a box of quinoa, for instance, I think that you can have a quick and healthier, cheaper, tastier meal than if you go through the drive-through. I love using the same cooking method for things. So one of my favorite meals more in the fall and winter is doing meatloaf, baked potatoes, and squash. So those things are all pretty much going into the oven at the same time. The other thing is if I'm going to do, say, chicken breasts. I'm going to do vegetable kebabs and maybe some pineapple rings. We put those all on the grill at the same time. So that can be a real saver of time that way as well. Getting assistance. So asking those family members to help chip in. So for example, when I cook, my husband cleans and vice versa. And be willing to try a new food or even a new recipe. So I tried turnips for the first time a week ago, and found that those were something that I think we're really going to enjoy and continue to use. So Jean, which of these things do you tend to utilize? Anything on this list?
Yeah, the rotisserie chicken.
Yeah,
We buy this chicken very often, and especially my husband like to eat this chicken, and my son hates to eat this chicken.
Oh, we can't win them all, can we? How about Heather? Anything on this list you tend to do?
I pretty much do the make extra because we use them for leftovers. My husband still goes to work outside the home, and then I eat them also here working from home. So we like that. It makes just easier not having to figure out, oh, what are we having for lunch? We like that. So we do that a lot.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so here's where kind of the different thing is going to come up. We're actually going to do a meal planning assessment. So the next 4 or 5 slides that I put together are going to give you the opportunity to see how you fare when it comes to meal planning, preparation, the nutritional quality of your meals. So I'm inviting not only both of you, but our audience to go ahead, grab a piece of paper, a pen or pencil. And what we're going to do is you're going to answer these questions that are coming up, tally your score, and then at the end, I'm going to tell you what your score is going to be. So, ready to get started?
I got my paper.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, question number 1. When do you typically, not every single 100% of the time, but most of the time, when do you begin to think about what you are making for dinner? So if you typically think about planning your dinner anywhere from a couple of days in advance to maybe weeks in advance or longer, then for question 1, give yourself 3 points. If you are basically putting your plan together about an hour or so before your meal, or anywhere from about driving home till about, it's time to start dinner, give yourself 1 point. Okay.
Well, I do for the dinner, maybe morning or lunchtime, I'm thinking about what I'm going to make for my dinner.
Oh yeah, you would have to be complicated, wouldn't you? Okay. So, all right, you can give yourself give yourself a 3.
Oh, okay. 3.
Right.
Okay, 3.
Yeah, I'm going to be generous.
Oh, okay. I thought that would be 5.
No. Question 2. All right. So again, when you are putting your evening meal together, does it, again, I shouldn't have written the word always, but the point is, are you generally thinking, when I put together a meal, I'm having this, this, and this? So for your second question, give yourself 1 point if your meal, always or generally always has some kind of a starch. Give yourself 2 points. So you're going to have, you're going to have to be kind of adding up, or you can write down several numbers here, because this one, we're going to have a grand total of points for the second question. So if you'd say when you're having your starch, if the majority of those are going to be whole grain sources, so it's going to be brown rice. Or if you looked in the ingredient list, the first word would be whole, then you get to have 2 points for that question. Okay. If you are always having a protein source, and that could be meat or fish, or it could even be a high protein vegetarian source, like your dried beans, peas, legumes, tofu, give yourself 3 points.
3 points?
3 points. Okay. Yep. If you have a starchy vegetable, so a starchy vegetable to me is what we call our traditional Thanksgiving meal veggies. So peas, corn, squash, yams, sweet potatoes, regular potatoes. Okay. So if that's typically what your vegetable choices are, you're going to give yourself a 1 for that part. But if the majority of your vegetable choices are coming from anything else than what I just named, those would be non-starchy choices, give yourself 3 points for that.
Okay.
And if you're always including a fruit as part of that evening meal, or generally most of the time, give yourself 2 points. And if you're having a milk or dairy with that, then give yourself 1 point. So then I put on here a total points section kind of under that whole grain section. So add up all your points now that you gave yourself for this meal evaluation, question 2, and write down what your total points are.
Yeah, I have
question.
9.
Okay. How'd you do, Heather?
11.
Okay.
Wow. Wow,
All right.
you're 11?
Question number 3. All right. So when we are making that evening meal, if you know, you tend to be a person that's making about the same handful of meals, 4 to 6 meals over and over again, but they are mostly homemade, very little processed foods, then give yourself 1 point. But if most of your meals are, yes, they are made pretty much from scratch, they have lots of variety, very few processed foods, you rarely eat out, maybe once a week, then give yourself 3 points, okay? If it's anything else kind of in between that, sorry, just you're getting a 0. Okay, last question. Now you are going to rate your overall plate. So think about how your meals generally are, those evening meals. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I want you to rate how healthy do you feel your overall meals are. So I rated it from 1 to 10. So if they're terrible, I really don't know what to make. We do a lot of, you know, takeout foods, fast foods, whatever. Help, I need help here. That would be a 1. Whereas on the other end of the spectrum, you know a lot about nutrition. You're making a lot of, probably organic choices. Health concerns are driving your decisions. You're going to be at a 10. So I want you to put whatever you're giving yourself somewhere between a 1 and 10, right? What your number is.
8.
Okay. Boy, she's letting us in on all her secrets, isn't she? Okay, so now you're going to go back and look at question 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you're going to put your total points for your value written down here. Now, don't tell me your answer yet, okay? Don't tell me your answer yet, because while you are kind of going back and adding up all your points and coming up with your final value, I just want you to think about, that whole meal planning process or experience. And we've got a lot of different things here, but, I don't usually when I'm counseling with people, I don't find a lot of people that like to cook or spend a lot of time in the kitchen. So, I'm always curious to find out, why is that? Is it the planning process? Is it because of the amount of time it takes? Is it trying to put meals together that are healthy? Maybe you just don't have a lot of creativity or don't know what should I be putting together, or, what is considered to be healthy. Maybe it's the food prep option. Maybe it's, I just hate shopping, or I never really learned how to cook, so I'm not really skilled in that area. Maybe you feel you don't have the right tools, or it's the cleaning up process. Maybe, you just don't have a lot of cookbooks or recipes, or maybe you do, but you just forget about them. Maybe you're kind of getting the yuck, from the rest of the family, or, we're seeing more and more food allergies and members of families that have to be on different diets. And you're like, I don't want to be making 20 different meals. And it could be a completely different choice. So, for our audience, I would, love it if you would, be willing to share with us what is it, one thing, maybe there's several things that you don't like about the whole meal planning process. Is there anything that sticks out with you, Jean? Anything on this list that, you aren't real thrilled about when it comes to doing meal planning or making the meal?
Well, the planning is, I feel like it takes time, right?
Yeah.
And then, so I feel like I don't want to bother to think about it for my whole week.
Okay.
So I just go to the groceries, buy the stuff I think I kind of want to eat. Kind of, there's some veggies and the fruits and the meat, kind of falling into those three different categories.
Okay.
And then I just come back and then just do whatever freely I
Okay.
want to do.
How about you, Heather? Anything on this list?
More about lack of creativity. I've always tried to do things fresh, but you know what? It makes it easier just to stick to, like you say, trying a new recipe every once in a while. And that's what I've gotten into the last few years, but trying to keep it healthy, but yet creative and not be boring. So
yeah. Awesome.
Oh yeah, I do that too. Heather, I learned that salmon cake from you, so I use that very often right now.
She loves that salmon
I know
cake.
she does. That's awesome. We usually have it once a week or once every other week. So
yeah, I really like it. I like it so much because you don't need just eat the meat, fish. You also eat vegetables.
Yeah.
You can add different kinds of vegetables in it.
Yep.
Yeah. It's an awesome recipe. So, all right. So let's see how we did in the scoring process. All right. So you got your total scores. Jean, what did you get for your total score?
16.
16. Okay. I would put you in the category of a mainstream meal planner. Now, what does that mean?
What does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean? So, Jean, this might mean that you might be the person that goes back and forth between the refrigerator, the freezer, the cupboard. You're trying to figure out what you can throw together for a meal. You want healthier menus and meals, but you're not really quite sure what to put together. You might want to try new things, but you're not sure if your family is going to like it or if they're going to eat it. But you and hubby are getting a little bored with having the same things over and over again, and maybe your waistlines are expanding a little bit. So this could be a mainstream meal planner. Okay. Heather, where did you score?
27.
27.
Well, that's
okay.
too high. It's not real. Hey, Heather.
Maybe she cheated.
I did not.
I guess so.
But I mean, I felt guilty giving myself a 10 on number 4, but I plan all my meals and there's maybe 2 processed foods in my entire house. So I felt guilty, but you know what? I do plan a lot of my meals and I do that. So
anyway, Kim, ask her first next time. Okay, don't ask me first.
No. Okay, so anyway, I would put Heather then in the ninja planning category. Okay, and the ninjas are generally, they're going to love food and cooking and recipes, and they plan things, could be a day or that day of, or generally longer. You are generally, or I could say you and Yul Gibbons could probably be friends. Health rules in your household. You like things that are whole and organic and colorful and variety, and you rarely dine out. And you'd probably churn your own butter if only you own cows.
I tried it, but it's too much work.
So anyway, but the thing is, this was just kind of in fun and just to kind of see where everybody is. However, if those of us that, that are also taking this, if you want to improve your mealtime score, well, have we got something for you? So we are introducing a class called What's for Dinner, AKA Healthy Meal Planning for the Busy Family. And we know that deciding, because we all have families, so we know deciding what to have for dinner can be challenging, especially if you don't have a plan. So the purpose of this class is to take you by the hand, take a step-by-step approach to help you establish a week's worth of meals that can be revised and expanded again for weeks to come. So we're going to discuss food groups, portion control, snack ideas, tips for optimum nutrition. And so this is going to be the perfect class for any of you that are, you know, filled out the quiz or the assessment and you found out that you were either a novice, a mainstream, a first-rate planner, maybe even, you know, you ninjas, you could probably take away, you know, a few new ideas and things to implement. So our 90-minute class is going to cover, you know, some of these main reasons, what's causing a lot of that menu frustration. There are so many benefits to meal planning. So we're going to talk about those. And again, we talked about a step-by-step process. So you're going to be able to put together nutritional, healthy, balanced menus with an entree, a starch, vegetables, fruit, some extra things. One of my personal favorites is cooking once and eating twice or multiple times. And of course, we got to have those time-saving tips. I'm going to show you how to review your menu so it can have a variety in color and texture, and because we eat with our eyes, and that's what makes it more enjoyable. And you will, I guarantee you're going to have, you know, at least several complete meals developed by the time the class is done in that 90 minutes. And of course, we're going to have a live question and answer session too. So 90-minute live. And we're offering 2 different class dates on this. So it's going to be starting just a little in about 2 weeks. So Tuesday, March 30th. In the evening, 6:30 to 8 o'clock. And if that doesn't work, we're also offering a Saturday session. So 9:30 to 11 o'clock in the morning. The cost is $47. But again, that's going to include all the handouts that you need. So you can utilize them that night for practice, but then you have them. You can use them over and over and over again to make upcoming meals for weeks and months to come. So please go to our website. I've got the site listed here, the dymohealth.com, under the product category and program section. We've got one of what our features is, moving out of daily duty. You know, I got to make the meal and the prepping and all that, and to turn it into inspired deliciousness. So that's going to be actually what's for dinner is going to be part of a 3-class series that we are holding. And we even are offering a special bonus in a price break and giving you 10 recipes for 1-pan meals to even help you out further as part of that bonus if you choose to sign up for all 3 classes. So, all right. So with that, who's introducing our next class?
So next class will be groceries and gadgets. So I think Heather will be the next one.
Okay. So again, thank you for joining us today. I hope you like this little take a little differently that we did today on this quiz. So or assessment as we put it. So please go to the site, check it out. We hope you sign up for our class, and otherwise we'll see you next time.
Yeah,
right?
Hopefully next time when you do the quiz,
Yeah.
and ask Heather first. Don't ask me first, okay?
Okay. All right. I promise. All right. Bye, everybody.
Okay, bye. Thank you. Bye.